Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 15 of Spread of the News. I am your host, Chase Carucci, and we are here with Brian.
Hi, happy 4th, everybody. I'm a little frustrated right now because I have the worst Wi-Fi in America, but we're gonna power through it.
It's been pretty consistent since the beginning of this show. Since we started.
Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay.
Brian also doesn't know how to use technology, so that's kind of
not true. You would think that, but I have the worst Wi-Fi ever.
Brian calls a lot of Yankee fans boomers. Meanwhile, in fact, he might be a boomer.
He might
disguise.
He cannot do anything.
With and
computers.
Of course, as you can tell, Danny is here. What's up, Danny?
What up? Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July to everyone. Hope you have a happy and safe 4th. Just wanted to quickly address no episode last week. Last week we had trouble with, finding a time to actually record. We were
busy.
We were pretty busy, so obviously we weren't able to, but we are obviously back and we are hopefully again on that consistent schedule of the weekly episodes every Monday. We were recording this on Monday the 4th, of course. So as always, we're just going to jump right in and we're going to start with our Yankee of the week.
Well, speaking of the 4th, can we talk about why the Yankees aren't playing a game today before we do that? What's up with that?
Stupid.
I wish we could get a comment from someone on that, Brian, because when is the last time that's happened? They didn't play on Memorial Day either.
I have no idea when the last time it happened, but it should never happen. Like we all know 4th of July is a day that should be for baseball, and the Yankees are not playing today, and it's really
it happens to be on a Monday.
Well, if the Yankees aren't playing, then there's one other team that's not playing. So who is it?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's.
Or are there a bunch of teams that aren't playing?
I'm pretty sure they just treated it like a normal Monday off day. They didn't treat it like a holiday.
It's poor job. Poor job.
There are a lot of games today. But
yeah, that's really weird. It's gonna be weird not to see them on 4th. I feel like every year Stanton homers on the 4th of July, so not seeing that's gonna suck. But
wasn't it 2 4th of July's ago where we had the doubleheader with the Mets and we got spanked?
Probably.
Of course, you would bring up the Mets.
Yeah, he loves the Mets.
Loves the Mets.
Anyways,
we act like we want to play on 4th of July. That was horrific.
Anyways, I guess it'll be maybe a breath of fresh air. We can just enjoy our day without having to worry about Yankees baseball. In case
the Yankees do need a day off. They absolutely need a day off. They've had a horrible stretch, a tough stretch. They played good in it, but it's a tough stretch. They haven't had an off day in a while. I don't count the rain delay off day because they still went through the motions of playing a game. So they were ready to play. But yeah, they've had a long stretch, against good teams, and they've done well. But they need a much needed day off. No matter if it's the 4th, the 5th, whatever day, they need a day off. The 3rd, doesn't matter what day it is, they just need a day off.
I think they had another one of those stretches just now that they just finished where it was like 20 straight days, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So they definitely do need a day off. They got, like you said, they got that rain out, but that doesn't really count. So
and then they just had a doubleheader the next day, which sucks even more. You don't want to. They hate doubleheader.
But let's do the Yankee of the week, boys. Who's gonna lead us off here?
Brian, you got us. I'm interested to see who you got to say.
All right, I'll go ahead. So my Yankee of the week for this week is going to be a guy that I love, but I don't think he's ever been my Yankee of the week, and it's Giancarlo Stanton. So Giancarlo this week, Big G, was 7 for 26 with is good for a 269 average, 321 on base percentage, 731 slugging percentage, which was good for over 1,000 OPS, and he had 4 homers this week. And a lot of people that have watched the Yankees this past week, or actually the past couple weeks since we haven't been here, feel like maybe recently every time Giancarlo connects, it's been a home run, and that's true because almost every hit he's had recently has been a home run, although he hasn't been providing average-wise as much, although he did this week. But up until this week, he's still giving us the power production that we needed. I was at 2 games these past couple of weeks. He homered in both of them. It's good to be there for those. So my guy, Big G, is my Yankee of the week, and we need production from him and the other big bats in the lineup to keep this winning going because, like Danny was saying, it hasn't been as easy for the Yankees these past few weeks. They've still been winning, but they have not been as dominant. I think we've all can agree on that. So they're going to need the big bats to be more consistent and not rely as much on the home run. But Stanton still did have a great week, which is why I'm picking him.
Go ahead, Danny.
Well, yeah, obviously we all love Stanton here. We've covered that for a while. He's great. But yeah, he was going through a rough stretch. Like his last 30 games, he's hitting 140, 153. Like that's over the last month. His last 15 games, 182. He just started to pick it up, hitting more singles, getting more base hits, but it's a home run ball. I mean, that's what he provides, and that's the biggest thing he provides. I'm not going to say that's only what he provides because he's not that kind of player. We know he's not just the home run strikeout kind of guy as people make him out to be. But yeah, it's good. It was good to see Stanton come back this week. He in that A's series, it was like, and he was just hitting home runs like whatever, which he does. He always has those streaks where but he's not on that streak. We're still waiting for that streak where you just can't get him out. We always say that about every year where you just can't get the guy out. Like, yeah, he's hitting a lot of home runs now, and he's starting to maybe trend in that direction. But you know what? I'm predicting a big stretch from Stanton coming of where pitchers fear him and where, anything you throw him is going to be a home run, basically. And I'm excited to see it.
It's a big prediction right there, Danny.
Excited to see
I
it.
like
We're going to
it.
see one of those stretches. He always follows those bad stretches with that stretch, and we're still yet to see it. So.
Well, I mean, he hit 269 this week. Like you said, that stretch was terrible when it wasn't even terrible because all of his hits were home runs, but he's not that all or nothing player that some people think he is.
Yeah.
But he's picking up average wise this weekend. I mean, he's still having a great year. Like his numbers for this year are all-star caliber. Awesome. Like he might not make it, but he's been great this year.
The All-Star game is stupid.
He did have that IL stint for that 10-day window. And obviously he's back now, but he still might hit 40 home runs, even with like a 10-day IL stint, which is kind of crazy.
I definitely think he will. He's got 20 homers right now, 53 RBIs, OPS over 800. It's 847. His batting average is 245, which is a little lower than we're used to with him, but we all know like batting average doesn't really tell the whole story, and he's giving us the run production.
Yeah,
we are looking for from him.
What's his OPS on the season? Isn't it like
847?
Yeah, 847. Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely having a solid season so far. I wouldn't say he's having like the Stantonian season that we're accustomed to over the last few years, but he's obviously been, he's been giving that production. And after seeing that stretch that Brian, I think it was you that said he was hitting like one something over his last 30, or was it you, Danny? It was Danny. Danny said he was hitting like 130 something over his last 30 games.
What did I say? 153? It was over 30.
I think every hit in that stretch was a homer. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, like that's not the guy that Stanton is. And if he's hitting like that, the offense is going to struggle. Luckily, the rest of the offense over those last 30 days, we were able to pick him up. But obviously, they're going to need him big time down the stretch and in the playoffs because he's always our biggest playoff performer. So
that's what we talk about this team, though. One guy's struggling, the rest could pick him up. That's what good teams do. Like good teams, they're one of their star players can go on a little bit of a slump. Judge, honestly, is on a little slide right now. He hasn't been the MVP caliber guy he was beginning of the season. I mean, that's just a short. Obviously, everybody goes through slumps, which is fine. But yeah, the rest of the offense is able to pick it up. The pitching's able to pick it up. Like that Oakland series, like especially that was. I know the Oakland is the worst team in the league. Whatever. But it's baseball. The Yankees come off playing how many ever days in a row. So they were tired going into that Oakland series. It's baseball. Anything can happen. They go down 5-1 in that first game. And already it's like, shit, like we're down 5-1. But it's never a doubt with this team. That's awesome about the team. They come back and win 9-5.
That's how it was with the game against the Astros.
Yeah. We should have lost more of those games against the Astros. We probably should have got swept by the Astros.
They should have gotten swept by the Astros. I mean, in one of those games, they got no hit, which was disgusting. Brian, was that the game that you were at or no?
Which one? No, I was at the Judge
walk-off.
Oh, okay.
Homer.
Yeah, like they should have lost that game too. Like they should have lost that game. They should have gotten swept.
Game. Like, let's go, Aaron Hicks.
The two games that they won from that series were like they just got by, which is a bit concerning because then they ended up losing that one game in Houston the next
that was
week.
Stupid. That was stupid that they had to do that. That was
dumb, I wasn't able to catch the end of the game, but from what I heard from what you guys, I heard it was very stupid. So
it was so dumb that they had to go down to Houston after being in New York and then go right back up to Cleveland. Like that, like whatever you say that happened, but no, it doesn't happen where they go down to Houston for one game. Like that does not happen. Like it doesn't.
And then they had to go back up to Cleveland. So the next day.
The next day.
The odds were definitely stacked against them in that game, and I don't know. I mean, it's been I feel like it was a struggle to hit in that game as it's been kind of recently, except for the home run, which is kind of worrying me a little.
Well, these Cleveland games haven't really been as much of that. The games against Cleveland, we were hitting. I mean, we scored 13 runs, then 6 runs, and then last night only got 1 hit.
Yeah, they didn't hit yesterday.
Yeah, well, the 2 games of the doubleheader we were hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Carpy had a day on the first game of that doubleheader. He had 2 bombs.
It's amazing that it's the 4th of July and we can still say that Carpy is still on the roster.
No, it's awesome.
He should be though. Like every time he's in there, he just produces. It's like without fail.
And he provides energy. He provides that energy. I'm glad he's here over Andujar, who I will talk about later. I know that'll probably be after Yankee of the Week because I have a lot of stuff to say about Andujar and people who love Andujar for some odd reason. But
we'll get into that for sure.
Yeah,
I wanted to say something. We'll get into that. What was so I wanted to ask you both. Are you right now, after seeing how the Yankees have played against Houston, are you confident in a best of 7 against Houston?
Absolutely not. And I hate to say that, but like absolutely not.
Danny?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we could beat them. We could beat any team. Like, look, you guys and everybody, not even everybody, but like a lot of people are like forcing the narrative of that the Astros own us, which they embarrass us a lot. They have had embarrassing wins against us. But if you actually look at it, last year we took 4-6 from them. This
in the
year,
regular season, I don't care. They knock us out every year.
This year we split. Yeah, but we haven't faced them in the playoffs since 2019, and this is a much different team than 2019. I mean, it's a much different team. We didn't face them in 2020. We didn't face them in 2021. It's a different team. But we took 2 out of 4 from them. Yeah, we got no hit. That was embarrassing. Last year we won 4 out of 6, but it felt like we lost all 6 because of how it ended with Altuve hitting the walk-off home run after being down 7-2 in the ninth. Fucking Chad Green. But really, like the Astros struggle to hit against us too. Like their pitchers are good. Like they're a good, very good organization. They know how to develop pitching. They know how to pitch. They just do that. They're a good team. That's what good teams do. And we're gonna have to face good teams in the playoffs. And they can't hit against us either. Like they scored 6 in the first game of that series. Whatever, they scored 6, but we won that game. So that you kind of wash that out because we won. But then they scored 3 the next 3, and then they only scored 2 in the 1 game series that we lost. So it's not like they're beating us by a lot and just crushing us. It's just, no, their pitching is good, and they got the best of us on those days. No-hitter was embarrassing. But that's what happens in baseball. Good pitching will beat you every now and then. Good pitching will beat you. Like we beat them with good pitching. And I don't know if you guys have thoughts on the Dusty Baker soft-ass comments of it was Judge 2, us 2.
Yeah.
I hated that, which wasn't even true because Judge wasn't on the mound. Judge didn't score all the runs. Like a walk-off single he hit in the first game. Like it's a single. Like, yeah, it's a walk-off single, but it's a single. Hicks hit the 3-run home run. But yeah, I don't think it's
almost like he was knocking the best player for doing what the best player does. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know how truthful it is that they own us because we have been beating them in the past couple of years because you're not going back all the way back to 2019. They beat us in 2017. Like, you're not going all the way back to then. Like,
they also struggled though after the scandal, and then they picked it up after. Like
Houston.
Yeah. Like after the scandal, they were struggling, and then they found their stride again.
I mean, 2020 was absolutely, it was stupid for them because they had an under 500 record and made the playoffs. Like they shouldn't have been in the playoffs, and then they end up making the ALCS 1 game away from the World Series. So that was horrible. Like that was a stupid expanded playoff, which I understood it with the 60-game season, but
that's another thing though. Like that team is built for the playoffs and always succeeds in the playoffs, and that's why like I don't want to use the word scare me, but they do scare me. Like I've been saying this. I think if it was us against them in the ALCS, like whatever National League team would be in the World Series, I'm way more worried about Houston than the World Series team that we'd play. Yeah. Like
I agree, Brian. I will say right now, as I'm sitting here on the 4th of July, after watching how Houston ran through the Mets in Houston, then they ran through the Mets again in New York, and then they ran through the Yankees, and then they beat the Yankees again in Houston. After seeing that whole stretch,
we split the series with them.
They should have been swept, Danny. They should have been swept.
They didn't get swept. They didn't.
I'm with you on that, but like if you really look at it, we were better than them for 2 innings of those 5 games. Like
In the playoffs, in the playoffs that sometimes that'll win
okay,
you
well we
games.
lost 3 of the 5, so that's a loss in the ALDS.
Well,
Right now,
we wouldn't face them in the ALDS. We're going to be the 1-2 seeds.
right now,
We're not going to face them.
bro, they swept the Mets.
They're a good team. They're a good team, but so are
Right.
we.
Right now, I will say the Houston Astros are the team to beat in Major League Baseball. Not just the American League, in Major League Baseball.
Well, considering they did take 3 out of 5 from us, I could agree. I mean, I could kind of say that right now.
So the Yankees might be in first place. I think the Mets are in second right now, right?
They really are. They're
and
the
then
only
Houston's
team
third. Or no,
they're
it's
the only
Houston
team
second
that
right
not-
now.
I think Houston might be second now.
I think Houston might have, because I think Houston second, the Mets are third. But even though
they're
the
only
Yankees are in
team I wouldn't be
first,
confident in.
even though the
either.
Yankees are in first by like a 6-game margin right now, I think I haven't had a chance to look at the standings, but I do think that they're the team to beat, and they still are. They have been the last few years, and they still are. So
Well, they are. Well, they are the team to beat because of their playoff success over the past few years. Like Yankees have had regular season success this year, more better, I guess. But Astros will always be the team to beat right now because of their playoff success. They've been in the World Series a lot recently. We're getting sick of it. We hate them, but
I also hate the argument that everyone says Altuve kills us. Like, bro, Altuve is like one of the best hitters in the MLB. Like, what are we doing? Like, he's always been that way.
he does kill us though.
He does, but he kills everyone.
It's like it's different with us though, because I'm not over the cheating scandal from 2017, but I'm still not going to boo Altuve because every time it happens, he just goes yard off us, and it's like humiliating.
He feeds. Yeah, it is humiliating every time we verse Altuve.
I think
And Bregman too.
like, both of them. Bregman sucks this year too, and of course, when he's getting the cheater and fuck you chance, he goes yard. Like I, again, am not over the cheating scandal, but I think that's got to stop. It just makes us look dumb like every time.
This beef with the Astros, like it's kind of time to let it go. Almost, it's time to let it go until we could prove that we could beat them in the in a playoff scenario.
When it's like the worst thing when like the fuck Altuve chants are like
Yeah.
breaking out in like the Yankees A's game. Like what? Why?
You know, if it's Yankees Astros in the ALCS, those chants are going to be there, and it's going to happen because a lot of Yankee fans aren't the best, aren't the smartest, aren't the best, and they'll still have those fuck Altuve chants and those cheater stuff. But they've proven they're a good team without the cheating too. Like it's just, I think it's time to let it go until we beat them in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I want to chant that. I want to chant that as he's like walking back to the dugout after we eliminate them. Like that's when we need to chant it. Like no, like
the only thing that I could say that the Yankees have on Houston right now is that if everything follows the way that it's been and the Yankees end up finishing in first, they will have home field advantage, which they have not had in the playoffs against Houston.
That's true.
Which is obviously big. But the Astros are good in New York, so who knows?
They weren't in 2017.
They are now, though. That's what matters.
Yeah.
2017 was 5 years ago.
I know, it's crazy. That shit's crazy. And people still like, no, I'm not gonna say. I was gonna bring up Andujar. People still saying they love Andujar because of his 2018 stats. Like people don't realize that was 4 years ago. He's not, but
relating back to 2017, I mean, I can't believe it's been 5 years and we haven't even scratched that surface of being one win away from making the World Series.
It's crazy. That team, that was the only year people gave the Yankees an excuse to not be good because that was supposed to be a rebuilding year. And that was the closest we've been to the World Series in the past, how many every year? Since 2009, I guess.
Well, this has got to be the year. It's got to be the year. Has to be.
It has to be. We came into this year saying it has to be the year.
But we say this a lot on I think I asked you guys 2 weeks ago. I asked you both if the Yankees need any deadline moves to get over the hump. And I think we all said like they don't need a move, but like they could, like they would.
They will make a move.
They will make a move. I'm starting to think now that they do need to make a move because they need an outfielder. I could see them trading for another starter. And I could also see them maybe even thinking about replacing IKF because we saw it yesterday. He can't make the easy plays. We see it all the time, but yesterday he did it again.
He is so useless on the baseball field. I don't want to. Oh, I was gonna say like I hate him, but I don't want to say hate him. But I strongly dislike him and think that he has no value to the Yankees. We talk about 5-tool players. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is a 0-tool baseball player. I don't know what he does well. If you guys know, you can let me know. I don't know what he does well.
He doesn't do anything well. No, actually, he makes some flashy plays.
Yeah, but I don't care.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
when you
that
can't
play
make
in
the routine
Houston
plays.
was absolutely absurd.
Oh my god! Oh, that play in Houston was one of the best shortstop plays like really have seen in a while. That was a really good play.
Yeah, but
that he can't make
he
routine
struggles. He struggles with the routine plays.
Yes, I'd rather have a guy that makes 10 out of 10, or I mean, you can't make 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 routine plays, than a guy that will make the flashy plays. Like, make the routine plays first.
Yeah, we were for some reason bamboozled and told that he was fast. I have yet to see that. I don't know where that's from. He he tried to steal base once and was thrown out like an idiot in like the ninth
Like an
inning.
idiot.
Not only that,
He's
but
he's grounded into 9 double plays this season already, and he 11 all of last year.
He never
beats out the infield ground balls.
Yeah.
There's been multiple like boneheaded base running mistakes we've seen him make. Obviously, we just said he can't field. His batting average is like whatever that's supposed to be something he's good at. It's not even that high. He doesn't walk, so like he doesn't get on base when he's not getting hit. And a lot of his hits are, well, a lot of times he makes contactors, ground balls, double plays. I feel like it's all he does. And not that he's supposed to do this, but he has provided literally zero power because he has 0 home runs. And I don't know if this is. Will he hit one the whole year? I mean, we're almost at the All-Star break. He has 0. He hasn't even sniffed one. And I think, I don't know. It was like maybe last week that there were only 4 Major League Baseball players with over 200 at bats without a home run yet, and he was obviously on the list. And since then, maybe someone's hit. But I have never seen someone go this long without by accident hitting one over the wall.
Yeah, especially in Yankee Stadium. Usually, like I was thinking he'll yank one over the 318 sign and left, because he has those pulled doubles over the third baseman's head. I thought maybe he's going to get a lift on one of those eventually and hit it over 318, but I don't think so. And if you guys think back to it, like I think it might have been our first episode ever when we were talking about the trade for IKF. How we're saying defensive specialist. I said that he's always been a third baseman. He was a defensive specialist at third base. And if you look at his shortstop numbers, even in Texas, they like defensive metrics, they weren't that good. I think he was in the 4th percentile on Baseball Savant for the yards above average. And I said, like, we don't know if he's going to be that defensive specialist shortstop because we haven't really seen it from him. He's not a shortstop. He never really was a shortstop, and he was never really a good shortstop at that. And we're seeing that ended up coming true. Like, he's not a shortstop. He's a third baseman. Maybe if we put him at third, he would be that defensive guy that we needed. But then I also brought up on base. Like, yeah, he hit 271 last year, which presumably is all right. But he had a 312 on base. Like, he's not getting on base. All he does, if it's not a ground ball single, he is out. He is in the dugout. So he literally provides nothing right now. I mean, he's only hitting 258. He's only hitting 258 right now, which is horrible. For him, for a guy that is supposed to be that. And it sucks to say we were all rooting for him. Well, obviously we're not going to root against him, but we all thought he was going to be a player that Yankee fans would like, because we thought he was going to be like hitting, at least getting hits, and people kind of equate that to getting on base, which is not true, because you could get hits and not get on base. Well, you could get hits and not be good at getting on base. But he's not. I think every Yankee fan hates him, and they should. Strongly dislikes him.
I was gonna say that's a perfect segue into who my Yankee of the week. But before I do that, I want Brian to talk a little bit about Oswald Peraza.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Listen, Oswald Peraza, one of the Yankees' top prospects, shortstop prospects in AAA right now, who we've all heard about for a long time, it seems like. But now with us talking about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and how he struggled and been so bad, there have been people calling for the long-awaited call-up of Oswald Peraza. And obviously, I totally agree. So he's 22. He's in AAA right now. His stats in AAA aren't great, but he's shown flashes, and that's all you need at that point. And the thing with him is that we know that Anthony Volpe is the shortstop. He's the Yankees' top prospect. He is the best shortstop prospect in baseball right now.
The future.
Yes, he's the future, New York Yankees shortstop. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was supposed to be the stopgap for him, but we're realizing now that he is useless. So if they want to keep Volpe down there to make sure he's ready, they can easily do that until next year or however long they want. But right now, when they need to win and they need some production or some value from the shortstop, why not call up Oswald Peraza? He's supposed to be more big league ready. That's all they talk about with him. He's supposed to be, just like all around good, solid Major League Baseball player, maybe even above average if it came to that. But if Volpe is the guy, why not just give Peraza the shot, see what he could do? Right now, 242 in AAA. Yes, that's not great. He has 10 homers and 25 RBIs, plays great defense. So why not give him the chance?
732 OPS, which is good. That's fine. I mean, it's not good, especially in the minors, but it's better than IKF.
Right. I agree with you, Brian. Like, what is IKF doing that Oswald Peraza probably can't do right now? Granted,
Exactly, nothing.
like you said, granted, like Peraza's in AAA. It's a totally different game from AAA to Major League Baseball, but obviously it's a jump. But why not just give the kid a shot? I mean, they're getting no production at short whatsoever, and they have a guy who can't even make the routine plays. So why not give a guy? Because we know with Peraza, if he's not going to perform at the plate, he's got a sure glove. At least we know that at short, at least from what we've been told and what has been scouted about him. But why not just give him a shot? Go ahead, Danny.
And he provides power and he provides run production. It's not just the ground ball single through the infield. Yeah, whatever. People are gonna say like, oh, we don't need power. We need defense. But Peraza plays good defense. We need contact. Like, no, we really don't need contact. We don't. I mean, like, IKF provides contact. No, not really. So it's the run production that Peraza would provide, or at least the potential for run production Peraza would provide if we bring him up, just give him a shot. Because what's the worst that could happen? He cannot be worse. He can't be worse. So what's the worst that could happen?
We throw that phrase around a lot, like, he can't be worse. Like we were saying that about Florial with Hicks back, during Hicks' struggles, which
he can be worse.
Maybe he couldn't have been.
Florial was worse.
But really, like you guys are both saying, I don't see any situation where Peraza could be worse right now, and I don't understand what the harm of bringing him up would be. It's not like I don't want to say this because I feel bad for the kid, but if they're they don't want to rush him, but just rush him. We need it. Like I don't really know what I'm looking at. IKF's, which first of all, he doesn't even deserve a nickname anymore. But I'm looking at
IDK.
I'm looking at IDK. I'm looking at his baseball savant. Like, it is brutal. He's in the first percentile of barrel percentage. So there's there's nobody in the league that hits the ball in the barrel less than him. That is insane. 6th percentile of hard hit percentage, 7th percentile in slugging, which is actually a little higher than I thought it would be. He chase rate 16th percentile, so he's still chasing bad pitches. He doesn't swing and miss at them, but he chases them and grounds them to the shortstop. And we don't need to talk about the fielding. We know how bad that's been. 8th percentile average exit velocity, so he can't hit the ball hard. He can't hit the ball in the air. He can't make the plays. Yep. And he makes mistakes on the bases.
And that's the thing against people. Like, people say, oh, we need a guy that just puts the ball in play and gets hits. But no, you need a guy that hits the ball hard in play.
Yes.
Because major league infielders that aren't Isaiah Kiner-Falefa could see a weak ground ball to them and make the play routinely, which we've seen, obviously.
But. Well, since we are on a time constraint here, I would like to move to the next Yankee of the week. But obviously, like I said, I think that was a good segue to my Yankee of the week. I guess if we're going to revisit the trade, have to do our weekly mention of Gary Sanchez. Gary, thanks for coming out today. But that trade, IKF and Josh Donaldson, you might be thinking, oh, Chase, is your Yankee of the week Isaiah Kiner-Falefa? No, actually, it's Josh Donaldson. So let me take you guys a little bit down through the path of what Josh Donaldson's been doing. I'll just give you his season numbers for right now. He has a 226 average for 318 on base percentage. It's not showing me his slug. That's embarrassing, but his OPS is 698. He only has 6 home runs on the year, which is like, what's going on, right? And 23 RBIs. Is this right? That actually sounds a little too low. Is that right?
No, that's right. 23 RBIs, 6 homers.
That's like pathetic.
Yeah.
For the guy that they traded him to be. But his last 7 games, he has a 200 average, 259 on base percentage, and a 360 slug with 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, no home runs, and 3 RBIs. So obviously you can see that the guy that the Yankees have traded for, and Josh, is not there. Obviously we love his personality and the vibes that he brings to the clubhouse. I mean, we saw the video the other day of Rizzo and the Rizzo and Judge doppelgangers doing the slip and slide on the tarp in Cleveland. And Josh Donaldson seemed like he was one of the leaders behind getting that to happen. And obviously that's a good, clubhouse like mesher, if that's even the right word. Because I don't know if you guys watched it. I mean, did you hear Josh Donaldson's laugh in that video? I mean, it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
Josh was crying, but he's not bringing on the baseball field is what I'm trying to say. And honestly, I'm a little concerned about it because we traded for him to give that production. And I don't know the Gio Urshela numbers off the top of my head, but I'm sure he's having a better season than Josh Donaldson right now. I wanted to hear what you guys think about Josh, because obviously he's a fan favorite among us because we love, like I said, his energy, but he's not lived up to that trade value and obviously the money that we're paying him. So what do you guys think about Josh?
I think I don't want to give up on him. I know I might be biased. Like, everybody knows that I love Donaldson, and I still do. But like, I know his numbers are so underwhelming, and I'm starting to get a little frustrated with him because it just seems like recently, especially, he's been up in big spots and just can't get anything done. Like, you saw that yesterday. We've seen it the whole year, which is just like kind of weird to me because like that's never been him, and he's always been such a talented hitter. So that's why I still hold out hope for him and believe that he's going to be good at some point in this year. The only thing that worries me is his age. I mean, the guy's 36. He's been through a lot of injuries. Like, that's the only concerning thing with him. I mean, he's still been hitting the ball hard according to the advanced stats. So maybe just need some better luck. I don't really know what the issue with Josh is. I mean, you're seeing some more strikeouts with him, which is like, not what we're used to with him, or not what he's been used to. So I don't know. I mean, it's something that he's got to figure out because they need him. They need Josh Donaldson to be better than what he's been right now. I mean, we're just talking about that trade, and I don't like to compare to guys we traded, or I don't like to, go back and look at trades. But I thought that this trade was definitely going to improve the Yankees with these two guys, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Josh Donaldson, and they really have not. The team is better, but we definitely can say it's not because of that trade. I don't know what it is, but
don't forget about Ben Wardvet, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I also, really quick, Danny, I see you were getting ready to say something. I just wanted to say quick. Nice. Go ahead, Danny. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, I got it. Josh, I always say to you guys, Josh misses every hanging breaking ball, and every fastball right down the middle. It's like he's just missing pitches. He just fouls. He's late on everything. His timing's off. There's something up with him. And I think you can make a serious argument that DJ should be the full-time third baseman, Glaber should be the full-time second baseman, and that Carpy should be the full-time in a full-time role, because Carpy's been giving some of the best production for his role on the Yankees all season.
And put Donaldson completely on the bench. I mean, I do like the little attitude adjustment that Donaldson brought over, but like that only goes so far. You need to perform on the baseball field, as you said. And he just hasn't. I mean, he's been fine on defense. He's been all right. But DJ's looks like a Gold Glover over there at third. So, honestly, again, I don't want to say bench him for Carpenter because we've seen what Donaldson can do. He's been such a good hitter in the past. He is a former MVP. And he's been good of late. I know former MVP that came in 2015, whatever. But even the last few years, he's been great. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm kind of in the middle on Donaldson. I want him to be better. I think he can be better, but he just hasn't been better.
I don't think we're in benching territory yet, but I think we could eventually see that. I'm not ready to completely bench him yet, but I think we might eventually see that. And I can also see Donaldson coming up huge in like a playoff spot because like that's just the kind of guy he is. But Danny, I think that's another perfect segue. You didn't do your Yankee of the week, right?
No, I didn't. But I could do my Yankee of the week very quick because I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the
right. Go ahead. All
right, DJ LeMahieu. Very quickly, I started to see he's back. I think. Well, not back yet. He's starting to become back. He struggled a little bit for a while. He got off to a hot start kind of in the beginning of the season. We're all like, "Oh, this is the DJ we missed last year. This is the DJ we wanted," and then it didn't last very long. So he went down. Right now, he's at a 262 average, which is low for DJ, 768 OPS, which isn't horrible. 768 OPS is, I think, a little bit above league average. I think 750 was league average at the last year at least. But over the last 7, he's hitting 286, and that he has a 893 OPS. So we're seeing those classic David John swings where he goes the other way with it. He shoots the ball up the middle. We're seeing a lot more of that. It's a lot less rolling over on pitches, which is what we saw all of last year and during his struggles this year. So DJ LeMahieu was back. Do you guys have any thoughts before we move on, because we're on a time constraint?
Yeah, really quick. Even like over like his last 30, Danny, he has a 279 average for an 863 OPS. 5 home runs and 15 RBIs with 24 walks. That's pretty good for DJ. We're not in back territory yet, because if he was back, he would be MVP caliber, because that's what he was.
No, he's not. That was his best year. He's not going to return to that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if he was back, like, he would be MVP caliber, but that's not what he is. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Brian. Do you have anything to say about DJ?
Yeah, I love DJ. I always have loved DJ. I think, he's had some bad stretches, but I've never been worried about DJ. I've said that like a bunch of times on here. Like, I've never been worried about DJ, and I'm always confident he's going to get a hit, like, in every situation. But maybe that could be wrong based on the numbers. But I always do feel very confident with DJ at the plate. He seems to get clutch hits when we need him. He seems to get on base when we need him to. Like, he just does everything well, I feel like. And you gave out, his offensive numbers, but we just mentioned before. I mean, this guy's one of the best defenders in baseball. Like, he's nuts, and you could put him wherever you want. He could play any position on the infield, basically. So, I mean, I think DJ is really valuable and a guy that they need. Like, I said that they need Josh Donaldson. They need DJ too, but they have DJ. DJ is not going to go anywhere, and I think DJ is one of the most consistent guys you'll find in the league. So yes, he's not going to return to MVP form, but he's going to be a guy that's huge for the Yankees down the stretch, and he's been all year.
Yeah, he's been very clutch.
Danny, take us through what you've been wanting to do. Ramen Accidentaloo.
Huh?
On the 4th of July.
July. Okay, I like it. Good rhyming. Miguel Andujar is a name that Yankee fans seem to cherish because of his rookie season in 2018, where he should have been Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for dual threat Shohei Ohtani, and I still think he deserved it. But what are we doing? People all over love Miguel Andujar. Why? They're still holding on to that 2018. Miguel Andujar is not good. He has not been good for us. Maybe he needs a change of scenery. People need to let go of Miguel Andujar. I know we were arguing all week about it. People, it just makes me so angry when people are like, we need Miguel Andujar out. Why are we sending down Miguel Andujar? We're sending him down because he's not good. Look, I know it's been a very small sample size this year, but when you're fighting for a spot, you don't get time to show. You don't get time. You get the opportunity given to you, and you're supposed to take advantage of those opportunities. Miguel Andujar has not taken advantage of those opportunities. Then you say, well, he's better than Gallo. One, who really knows? Because Miguel Andujar isn't good either. I think, he's probably better than Gallo because Gallo's no. Let me finish. I think, yes, he's probably better than Gallo, but you are not sending Joey Gallo down, making $10 million a year and we're hearing he has some trade value. You're just not doing it. You're not. So you can't really make that argument Andujar over Gallo because it's just not going to happen, and it can't happen. You're not sending Gallo down. Yes, we could trade Gallo, and maybe that opens up a spot for Andujar. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Andujar get a shot. I love the guy, but he just hasn't been good on the baseball field. You say he's raking in AAA. Like, he should get a shot. He's raking in AAA. No shit, he's raking in AAA. He's 27. He's been in AAA his whole career. He should rake in AAA. He's a fucking grandpa down in AAA. But people need to let it go. He is not the same Miguel Andujar we saw his rookie year. He is not. People need to let it go. I'd rather Esteban Florial. You guys were arguing with me in the group chat. Well, who would you rather in left? Aaron Hicks. I will take Aaron Hicks 200 out of 200 times over Miguel Andujar. Right now, I will take Aaron Hicks. I know we don't like Hicks, and I don't like Hicks.
So then who do you want right?
I would rather Hicks in left field, but I'd rather them make a trade for someone else in left. But I'd rather Hicks start in left field over all of them.
So who do you want? Who do you want in right field?
Stanton.
He's not going to play full time. You know that.
Well, I think Gallo plays better defense than Andujar would in the outfield, and I know Andujar is very improved, but I think we need to make a trade. And I'd rather than give him Florial another shot because he's young enough where raking in AAA actually means something.
Dude, Florial. You want to talk about
Dude,
sucking? Florial sucks. Like he's
I know
terrible.
I know
Florial is
been
tearing the cover off the ball in AAA right now.
Exactly.
He always has, and he comes up in here and shits the bed. He's terrible. He sucks. I don't want to hear about Florial anymore.
He doesn't. Okay, but then the Andujar argument that he doesn't get a lot of opportunity. Well, neither does Florial. And I know he hasn't showed anything in the opportunity given. So yeah, he's been bad. But I'd rather them give him another shot than get Andujar up. I'd rather them. Yeah. And what about? Let's throw Carpian left, huh? Let's throw Carpian left. Old man can move a little bit.
Dude, that's so. Can he even run?
Yeah, when's the last time
we always complain about Hicks jogging to the ball. Like, can Carpi even jog to the ball?
But I'd take Hickson left. And you have to keep Gallo up over Andujar. You cannot send down Gallo. You cannot. As much as we want it
that
to
was
happen,
never going to happen. That was never going to happen. Gallo would never get sent down. He would be benched. He wouldn't be sent down.
Who do you think Andujar should be on the team over? He can't play short, so you can't say over IKF. Who should they send down instead of Andujar?
How about this? How about you bench Gallo? How about you play Hicks and you play Marwin Gonzalez?
I'd rather that.
What's wrong with Marwin Gonzalez in the outfield? He's shown he's capable.
I think Marwin is like the answer to every problem. He should be the shortstop and the left fielder. He could do both. Like
absolutely, he's a switch hitter and he puts the ball in play. Our boy Joe's McFly, Brian, that's our friend. We met Joe's McFly at a game. Me and Brian met Joe's McFly at a game.
Hey, I was there too.
Yeah, but you were afraid to come up and say hello.
Well, I didn't really know him back then.
Anyways. We met Joe's, shout out Joe's, but Joe's McFly yesterday tweeted, was it yesterday or the day before? But he tweeted, look what happens when you put the ball in play because it was Andujar. Andujar was playing over Gallo. And Andujar reached I think twice on 4 at-bats where he hit the ball hard, and all 4 at-bats he hit it hard because Gallo doesn't even put the ball in play anymore, dude. Gallo actually doesn't even make contact. Like he doesn't even put the ball when he puts the ball in. He doesn't put the ball in play. When he makes contact, it's a foul ball. He doesn't make contact.
He's bad.
He literally can't touch the baseball.
I told you guys the other day about that stat I saw, which is also from a week ago, maybe a little less actually, that Joey Gallo's K rate against lefties is 52%. That is that is unreal.
That has to be all-time bad. Like
he's striking out more than half of his plate appearances. Like that's insane. I've never seen anything like that. 1 and 2, like I said to you guys, 52% honestly seems a little low.
It does honestly.
It's almost like because we think it seems to us that he strikes out every at bat.
He is in the first percentile of expected batting average.
Listen, I have defended Gallo longer than
percentile
anyone.
Of expected batting average.
I've defended Gallo longer than anyone, and I throw this around a lot, but this one, I seriously believe it. Joey Gallo is the worst hitter in baseball at this moment.
Guys, I feel like
I think Marwin Gonzalez is the solution to the outfield. Put Marwin Gonzalez in. And over Andujar, he should be playing over Andujar. He's better than Andujar.
I know that Danny, you wanted to highlight Andujar, and this kind of turned into like a Gallo thing, but I do want to say, if everybody used the argument of expected batting average for Gallo because of the shift and because he hits the ball hard. He's not even doing that anymore. He literally doesn't touch the ball.
He is a perfect example. Well, to be fair, he's never gotten hits. Like he's always been that 200 hitter with the home run, the occasional homer. Oh, not occasional, a little more than occasional, but so he's honestly having a down, he's just having like a down year for what he is, but what he is already
dude, he fucking sucks.
No, I'm saying what he is as a player at his best is so bad that like a down year like this is like
all-time bad.
Worst we've ever seen anyone be. Like
I wouldn't say him at his best is bad. I mean, he has like in the past, like in Texas, he had a valuable player for them.
Yeah,
for a while, like hitting for power. I mean,
what's his career high in homers in a season? Like 40?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. It's just like he's not like, and everyone said this when he was traded, and I didn't agree, but now I totally agree. Like he's the last thing the Yankees needed. Like everyone everyone was just set up to hate this guy. He's like a Yankees fan's worst nightmare, and he's been nothing but that the whole time.
And I do feel bad for him because when he walks back to the dugout, he's always shaking his head. He has that
Poor body
tick.
language.
His body language is just terrible, and he's always in the dugout. Like the other day, he was walking back from the dugout after he hit a ball pretty hard to into the shift at second base. You know, like the short second base shift where like they're in the outfield. I don't know if there's a name for that. You guys probably know better than I would, but
second baseman.
Yeah, the second baseman was in the outfield and that shift. But
just the second baseman.
But yeah, but he hit the ball really hard, and then whoever it was, I can't remember, made a really nice play. And then he walked back to the dugout and he was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" He's like, just like, you know, like jawing himself off just because that's what he does. Like, oh, fucking shift. Like, shut up. Like, you suck. You're horrible. Like, it's not the shift anymore. Like, make an adjustment for once in your life. You're horrible.
All right, that is another thing I wanted to talk about. The people who say, just hit the ball the other way, change who you are, like change it. These guys at the major league level have been doing what they do their whole lives. They have been doing it. It is not easy at the major league level to just say, all right, I'm going to completely change who I am. I'm going to completely change my swing. And he tried to do that in the beginning of the season. We highlighted that in earlier podcasts. He tried to just start hitting the ball the other way, and it didn't work. And now he's trying to get back to what he was, and it still is not working. So he's just not good. You can't tell a player, like, I've been seeing this around Major League Baseball like a lot. I've been hearing this around Major League Baseball a lot. Isaac Paredes is one of the ones that come to mind. People have been trying to hit the ball the other way, and they're struggling. And then some older veteran comes down and is like, no, just be who you are, pull the ball. And then all of a sudden, they start hitting better. I know that's not working for Gallo because he's just not good. But, like, the stigma, the words of just put the ball the other way, hit it the other way. It's not really. I would love to see him get up there and bunt every time, but realistically,
exactly. Why doesn't he do that?
I love a good bunt.
He's done it in the past, and he's shown that he can do it. So why not just do it until they stop shifting
that's
on
another unrealistic thing of Major League Baseball nowadays, which I wish it was. But like, I love bunting, but no manager is going to ask a player. No player is going to want to just go up there and bunt every time.
He's an automatic out. He literally can't get on base.
I know. I agree with the bunting, but I do not agree with it's literally the lineup. Just hit the ball the other way. Just change your approach and hit the ball the other way, because these guys can't really do that at the major league level. That's obviously the hardest level of baseball in the world, and it's hard to just change who you are. It's not easy to just change your complete.
But when you're that bad, you need to do something to help yourself. If you can't help yourself, what do you help? The lineup. He's hitting ninth in the lineup.
I'm not here defending Gallo.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I understand your argument in general, because I agree with you. Like, you can't change your approach in the major leagues. Like, that's not. It's just not like realistic. But the lineup is literally a 1 through 8. Once you get to the 9 hole, it's literally like it's a wasted out. Like, it's like if there's 2 outs, like that's it.
It's more. I think the lineup is more automatic out than that with IKF being in there. And it's
fine. 1 through 7, or actually, because he hits 7th most of the time, so it's 1 through 6 and then 8 with Trevino.
But if Higgy's batting 8, then it's 3.
Then it's 3. Then it's a 1 through 6.
Listen, I've been saying this to you guys, and I want to get it in quick before we have to go, but it's over for him because I want everybody that's listening to this to go watch how they pitched him. The MLB has cracked the code that Joey Gallo cannot hit a high fastball for his life. The uppercut is too bad. He can't get up to the top of the strike zone. And like his belt or a little higher than his belt, he can't touch them. And every major league pitcher and pitching coach knows that because they have stats on everything like that. And
that's just an obvious one.
He's pitched every time he's being pitched to, it's high fastball, and he can't touch it. And now that's been
3 pitches he strikes out on.
Now that's been now that everyone knows that's a league-wide thing. He's never he can't just fix it and learn how to hit it. I mean, he could try his best, but his swing is not built to hit that pitch, and he can't. And that's why he's been the worst in baseball.
That is something you can change. I mean, you could sit on a pitch. He can sit on a pitch and get up.
Yeah, but he can't even. He doesn't even have like the swing path to get up to it.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him because obviously the Yankees are a World Series caliber team, and imagine being traded away from a World Series caliber team when you've been with Texas your entire career, and especially since it seems like he really loves being here.
If he gets traded, it will be to a contender. Like a contender is going to be the one to make on him. So if he is going contender, he's going from best league team in the league to contender. Which
what was his said market? It was San Diego and Milwaukee, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yes, and then I think the Twins too a little bit.
Well, that remains to be seen. Joey Gallo's days are numbered. I don't think you will see him on this roster past the trade deadline. I don't.
Yeah.
I just can't see
He
it.
can't. He won't be. He won't.
I can't see it.
He won't be.
Joey Gallo's days in New York are over. They're over.
Well, they're not over. We got a
Not
couple more
over.
weeks before the trade deadline.
Brian, they're over. They've been over since he got traded here because it's not even like he's a presence in the lineup.
All right. We're running out of time, but just to wrap up how this conversation started, Miguel Andujar is not the solution to our Joey Gallo problems. He is not. He is not good either.
He could
So
be.
stop, everybody. A little PSA. Stop with the Andujar love. He is not the same player from his rookie year. He is
Just give
not.
him a chance.
Let's get Gonzalez out there over Andujar. But if you give Andujar a chance, you're going to have to get rid of Gallo. If Gallo is still on this team, Andujar won't be.
Well, we'll have to see what happens with Gallo. Gallo's, I hate him.
Hey,
And I know we
Hey,
always say we
strongly
don't like to say. I know we always say we don't like to hate players.
strongly
Like
dislike.
Brian said it earlier about IKF. He's like, I don't like to hate. Like, I don't want to say I hate IKF. I hate Gallo. Like, I actually hate him. I actually don't like him. Anyways,
I feel bad. He's upset with himself. He doesn't. He
of course, no, I feel for the guy. I do because then I wouldn't have a heart. But you know what? Now I feel bad if I saying I hate him. Maybe I don't hate him.
Wow, what a dick.
Now I actually feel bad. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Andujar hitting 245 with a 555 OPS.
Irrelevant. Brian, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
We didn't. We didn't say any numbers about it.
No, I'm good. Let's go Yanks.
Let's go Yanks. Have a happy and safe 4th of July, everybody. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at
Yanks.
official STN pod. Please interact with us. Please, please, please. We're trying. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Spread of the News and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, which is also Spread of the News. Thank you all for listening / watching. This has been Chase.
Brian.
Danny.
And we will see you all next week. Have a great 4th of July, everyone. Peace.